What's up everybody, welcome back to the channel. Today we're gonna be getting back on the international Travelall because we only have a few short weeks to get this thing prepped to go to Holley LS Fest East. So last episode you saw us struggling a little bit to get this thing fired up and idling. We had a little bit of problem with our valve train clearance to our valve covers. Let's see what our problem is.
What?
But just look at the overall valve cover. We didn't want to continue to cause all kinds of metal going through the oiling system, so we stopped. We've got new valve covers coming. So I got the valve cover off. This is the passenger side. All the aluminum shavings. All right, watch me wipe that away. Boom. You see it all on my finger. So that is no bueno. Yeah, see, there's a pretty good amount already in here, look. So I gotta go and try to pick all this out because this aluminum will destroy bearings. We're lucky we didn't actually like run the engine. It just kind of stopped and stalled. So I'm hoping that none of it actually did make it down there yet. Might have to do some more investigation. But we have some new taller valve covers coming in from Holley. But for now, we're gonna take a jump back in time and show you all the work that went in to the underside of the dash to get everything in the Travelall updated.
I'm laying out the entire dashboard of the Travelall. That means I need switches for my AC. I need to lay out my AC vents, my airlift performance control. I already removed everything out of the dash except for a couple switches. So the middle right there was the radio. Down below was the old AC control. And over there is our gauge cluster. So I already removed all those panels and I have them laid out here on our table. This is our gauge cluster. These are all gonna come out and be replaced with a newer style, which will work for our LS, but still kind of keeping it the original look. This is our center radio plate, which I'm gonna probably use for 2 AC vents, to the Restomod billet vents. This is the original plate that had the AC controls, and I'm thinking that we could just, you know, pop these puppies in like this. And then we have our ashtray, which came equipped with 2 cockroaches, which we will throw in the garbage. Don't do drugs, kids. End up buying old trucks and having to fix them. There's those 2 little holes from the old spots that I'll have to weld up. Right now I am getting our Restomod billet vents laid out in the dash. This is the panel that we modified and just welded all shut, the old radio. So I'm gonna have 2 here, and then the other 2 I'm probably gonna put 1 here on this side and then the same over there for the passenger sides. Snug as a bug in a rug. So the next part I'm gonna have to modify is the hole in the dash. Boom.
It's official, I've been sucked into the Travelall vortex. I've now been commissioned to install this Restomod AC air unit here. This guy is the Haymaker, the biggest unit they have to fill this monstrous cabin in here. So what we're gonna be doing is mounting this guy up under the dash. You can see it already has an aluminum bracket on the back side here. I'm just gonna make a drop down bracket with some legs coming off the main structure here. Drop down, and that'll leave room on the back side of the unit for our vents to come out and not be in the way of our wiper transmission. All that. All right, so now I got those couple pieces of metal cut. I want to take a reference at what angle this guy is. I don't know if y'all can see it, but 20 degrees. I've got the HVAC assembly mounted in the truck for the final time, making sure that it actually fits after I made all the holes and all the cuts. I've got the ECU control board and the relay for the magnetic clutch chilling right here on this aluminum panel. All the wiring is here and ready to go. Cool. Cool. I'm moving on to the next important piece of the HVAC puzzle. We're going to use this bulkhead here to get our high pressure and our low pressure lines into the cabin. We're going to try to be a little bit discreet about where we're going to put the hoses.
So now that Andrew has the whole Restomod AC all plumbed up, we have a few more electrical components to fit up inside that cab. I'm trying to lay out my painless fuse box. I'm trying to get that set up here. And I'm gonna be able to place a speaker as well. So we got some Rockford Fosgate. I think these are 5-inch speakers. So what I'm gonna do here is basically cut this section out and then make like a metal cap for it, like a shroud.
You may have caught the membrane on fire.
Oh, maybe. Now that the fuse box is installed, you guys are all cut up on the Travelall interior, which is perfect because UPS is just dropped off some goodies. We got some more gadgets that just came in from Holley. These are all our gauges that are gonna sit into this factory bezel. So, super stoked about this. We're gonna try to keep it nice and classic looking.
These gauges are really cool. They're simple, very stylish. I really love the black on the white with the Holley logo. And the best part about it, it's single wire hookup into any of the Holley EFI products, whether it be a Dominator, an HP, a Sniper. Hook it up to single wire and it'll run all the data on all these gauges. Here they go with the lighting. They're pretty sleek. And they're gonna give us all the information that we need coming from the Dominator. And then also, we've got our Restomod AC controls here. These are all working. Ooh, nice. Nice and cool. We've got a nice little power port here for USB, for charging your phone. A couple switches here. This is actually for our back glass. Things are really starting to come together. The dash is looking really nice. A little bit of calibration to get all these 100%, like our fuel gauge here. We have to calibrate it to our sending unit. But we're moving along, hustling. So my next task here is to get this throttle cable working. Kind of had to make a custom little bracket here. We're using a little low car standoff and a cable. We ended up taking a pedal from a GMC van that we have outside. So now I get to make it all work together. Just wrapped up the throttle cable. Had to do a little bit of tweaking. We're all good to go. So right now we're gonna get the new valve covers on. Our large rocker arms were touching the covers that we had previously. So we've got some taller ones. So we're just gonna pull off these and get those slapped on. Valve covers are back on, coils are bolted down. Spark plug wires that came all the way from Kentucky for my boy Steve from Holley. All we have left to do is finish off the exhaust underneath the truck, And also we have our brand new TMI bench seats, which just showed up. So now we can get those mocked up and installed.
So we got the exhaust pretty much dialed in. We've got this nice vibrant stainless steel underneath the Travelall. We went ahead and we modified the headers. We got the 3-bolt flanges in place. We had to go to a 3-inch as opposed to a 2.5 inch. Got our O2 sensor installed there. So 3-inch all the way back. It's just a real simple straight to the back of these oval mufflers with a couple turn downs. It's gonna be thumping pretty hard on the ground when this thing fires up. So we're gonna go ahead and pull it out now, do our final weld, put it in, and see what she sounds like.
Ooh, what do we got here? TMI coming through for us again, man. Ordered these 2 bench seats. Oh yeah. Oh yeah, I'm stoked. So this is a little 4-foot bench seat for the back. This is a 60-inch for the driver and the passenger. This is our driver passenger. Got a nice little console in here to keep our goodies. Armrest with our cup holders. All right, there you got it. The first bench seat, she's in. That's just a mock-up. We got our stock bracket down here that still needs to be bolted down. But I'm just kind of trying to get a general idea of height and everything like that. So fits in there perfect. Now this is just a universal seat that you can get online. You kind of go through, you pick your upholstery, you pick your patterns. I wanted to keep it as simple as possible. All right, so one's in, and we're gonna go over, we're gonna get the frame and the sliders mounted on the front bench, and we're gonna get that guy mocked up. We're gonna have to come up with some kind of brackets. The factory bracket that was similar to the one in the back was all rusted out, so that went to the trash. Good thing we're a fabrication shop and we'll be able to make a nice metal bracket in here. We got our first stand tacked up, ready to fit in. So what we're gonna do is put it in here and we're gonna end up just welding it to the frame. So I got one made up and I'm gonna go make an identical one for the other side and we should be good to go.
All right, we've got the exhaust system installed. We've got our TMI interior mocked up in here, almost final installed. We got all our brackets in. We just gotta bolt them all down. Ooh, look at these fresh Holley EFI gauges. Let me light them up for you. Boom. Everything looking sweet inside here. Now that's all that's left. We gotta fire this thing up. You ready, Kyle? I like the exhaust tone. It's not too loud, not too soft. Yeah, definitely needed to get a little bit more fine tuning on it, which is no big deal. It's very much expected. So we have a little bit more time left to fine tune this thing. We're gonna get it on the dyno so it's running perfect. We are so close to having the Travelall completed. The last couple things that we have left to do are the upholstery. The interior is mocked up at this point, but we have to get the carpet laid down. Also, we have our drive shaft here that we have to get bolted inside. The last thing we need are a couple straps to get this thing mounted up to our pinion. And then we got to get a tune-up on it. So that's happening this week. And hopefully we'll have this thing out at Clean Culture on Saturday. And we're also going to be bringing the LSZ for its first shakedown. I'm really excited about that. That is my personal car, and it's been a while since I've driven, so I'm really excited to take this thing out. So you're gonna wanna stay tuned for both of those because this is gonna be a really exciting week. We've been working really hard to get these two vehicles up and running for this show here at Clean Culture in West Palm Beach, as well as going to LS Fest East in Bowling Green. Make sure you tune in next week, subscribe, like, and hit the notification bell so you guys don't miss any more of the future content that we have cooking up. Kyle's gonna weld it with his boogers.